All right, everybody, we're back with another show of No Cover TV's podcast. This is Big Al, your host, and what we do is bring the local and national music scene, original music scene, in your face. And we've been doing it for many, many years. We used to do it on TV for a long time. And Big Al got a little older, so I decided I think I would get off TV and just do the podcast now for the musicians and the artists. It's about getting their music out there. And nowadays we have great platforms for the artists to get their music out there all over the world, which is amazing. Back in the day, we didn't have that. And then we had to do the old foot stomping and putting posters up. And you see the telephone poles with a million nails in it. Well, that was from the posters. So anyways, we got a great show for you, and it's a remote show we're doing, so we might have some tech issues, but we shouldn't. The band that I have on today is from California, R.S.B, the Robinson Simpson Band. How are you doing, guys?
Good, doing good.
Doing good, great. I am glad I got a hold of you. I'm sorry that we have to do it the old-fashioned way, mic and everything.
As long as we can get it done, that's all that matters, right?
Yes, as long as we get it done. Exactly. All right. Now, I've written some things down, did a little research, and of course, then I'm just going to throw out questions. We got time, and I want to know a little bit about every bit of one of you. Now, James, you're the vocalist, right?
Yep.
All right, James. Now, I've listened to some of your songs there. We've got Scott and we've got Mark Simpson, identical twins, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, identical twins. That's pretty cool. Now, percussion. Where's that at? Who's doing that?
On the recording, we have Kevin Prince.
Okay. All right, we give him some props there. Good. So I'm hearing a lot of different. Now, I'm not going to date you guys. I'm not sure of your ages and stuff, but what I'm hearing, James, and through the rest of you guys of what you're playing is some older influence style, singing and playing. You're stretching out your vocals. You're holding it strong, and you're giving me kind of a yes, ELO, Freddie Mercury, type Dio Floyd action there. And that's pretty fucking cool. You got something there, guys. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
So
people always put a genre on our music, and there really isn't one. It's a wide stream of everything. Rock and roll.
Right. Now, how long have you guys known each other, and when did you start this?
Well, Scott and I have been jamming together for over 30 years.
Okay.
And Mark was actually in our first group, Cold Steel, way back in the day, and we did an album back then, analog, of course, the 2-inch reel and all that.
Oh, yes. You gotta love analog.
Yeah, I love the digital, man.
It's a little easier.
So many more things on easier now.
Right. Oh, so 30 years.
We've been jamming for many, many years in different personnels and bands and different bands that Jim and I have been in. I ventured out and did some stuff on my own, Jim as well. And we just, when you find a collaborative relationship Jim and I have developed over the years, you can't find that chemistry anywhere. It's in all the bands that have survived the time. You have those two individuals usually that just sync, work really well together, and that's what Jim and I have established over the years. And we just got back together in the last probably 10 years, and really focused on writing some new material that kind of went a little different from our stuff that we did earlier on.
Okay.
It's definitely, I have to say, it's definitely better. We've evolved into our writing skills and our playing skills, and obviously you've heard our stuff, so it's definitely showed you haven't heard any of our older stuff. But
right, I've heard your older stuff, but this new, what you're doing now is great. I mean, it's hitting me, bringing me back to the good old days, and just your vocals is very powerful and strong, and all of you are obviously seasoned veterans at playing music and being musicians and performers. and you've been doing it for several years. But R.S.B., when did you start R.S.B.?
Well, so we basically in 2018 we started writing some new stuff, and that's where all this helped come from. As a matter of fact, Fight, our last release, was in the studio. I didn't actually have the vocals completely down until then.
Okay.
Part of he comes up with these great riffs, and I come up with a melody line, and I go over different words until I figure out the story I want to say.
Because I was listening to some of the songs, and you do have some powerful, lyrics. And
Thank you.
I like that a lot. You're putting a lot of thought into that, and then you're bringing it over to Jim and Scott and Mark, and wow, they're putting it together, and it's just coming together really, really nice. So I want to ask you, you are a newer band per se at R.S.B., the Robinson Simpson band.
Yep.
You're gaining followers. Are you on the platforms? Is your music getting out there on, say, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, YouTube, anything?
We're distributed through DistroKid, so they hit all the platforms.
Hit all the platforms. Okay. So you got quite a few. You got a few songs out there. I was listening to. We're on the phone. I'm going to try to play one of the songs. I'll have to lower the screen. I hope I don't lose you. If I lose you, I call you back. It's one of those type of things. But there's 3 of them that I do want to I usually play a minute or so of it. Because I want to tease the audience, the fans. I mean, they need to go to the platforms, they need to get off their butts, and they need to listen to the music. Because what you do it for the love of what you do and for the love of making your fans happy. And it's nothing more pleasurable than watching your fans sing your songs to you.
Yeah, on this recording session, we recorded 12 songs, and we're doing one a month. That's why there's 3 out currently. One is dropping in this month, the 14th, and every month all the way through the year. So
you're dropping one a month.
Yeah, that's
followed by video.
That is awesome. I like how you're doing that. That's a good approach. Now, is there a place, I know you have your R.S.B. Facebook page, and you got quite a few followers on there. Is that the only place they can go to talk to you, find out about you, merch possibly, anything?
We have an Instagram as well.
All right.
And then the Spotify and YouTube. We have a YouTube channel.
Okay, YouTube channel. Yes, you got to have the YouTube channel.
Hey,
the YouTube.
now, the RSB.
So now I'm going to I take a lot of my musicians and I put them in a little spaceship. And you're going to go in a spaceship with me.
Okay.
All right. Each one of you is going to tell me a little bit about yourselves. And I'm going to start with you, James. You're the vocalist. All right, let's go. 8 years old. What are you doing? Who are you listening to? And why did you start singing?
Well, so my dad's a drummer. He's a country swing drummer. Started when he was like 5 years old. He's recently passed away.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you. So he was a huge influence on my musical side. And I've always had the hankering of writing. I don't know what it is, but I've always written stuff. Since I was a kid, I used to write songs and put them on a pillowcase, and then they disappear. So, but it's just always kind of been my forte.
Okay, great. And now, did you do any professional singing, any classes, vocalist classes, choir, or anything like that?
I sang choir all the way through school. In high school, I did the ensemble thing. Afterwards, at the end of high school, I had my first band, had a band down in L.A. for a while, and then I moved up here. And then Scotty and I met, and again, we started again.
I didn't ask. Where about in California are you?
We're in NorCal, up by Sacramento.
And I used to live out the Corona, L.A. area there.
Okay, yeah, I lived down in Southern California for a while myself.
Yeah, it's a little crazy down in that area. Yeah. So I just went to Venice Beach, that's all. So anyways, we're not talking about California right now. But I bet I'd like to have your weather, though, unless you're getting a lot of that rain still.
Sunny day.
Yeah, that's true. You do. You do. So, all right, James, found out about you. Scott Simpson, guitar player. Okay, what was the first guitar you bought and how old were you?
The first guitar I bought was a Hondo Les Paul copy. I bought it off a friend of mine that was teaching me some, kind of being a puppy dog, following and trying to learn licks and stuff. I was probably 13 years old at that point.
All right.
And what really got me into music was I was 8, and I saw Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
Great movie.
I wanted to, well, not really. When you're 8.
Well, when you're 8, 10 years old, it's great.
Well, when you're 8 years old, it was magical, and I wanted to be Ace Frehley. I've always had the knack for wanting to play guitar. I actually built my first guitar in my grandmother's garage out of a piece of wood, nails, and rubber bands because they would not buy me a guitar.
That's cool.
Those guitars gone way, way, way back. But big influences, Kiss, obviously Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, Jimmy Page, Steve Lukather is one of my heroes, Al Di Meola.
Yes.
I'm all over the place. I like all kinds of music, and so my first actual guitar that I bought was a Hondo black Les Paul copy, and then when I started getting a job,
You're right.
I bought basically a Charville copy. It was called a GTX, and then that's what Jim and I started our first band with.
Okay, great. Yeah, it does cost a little bit of money to move up on the guitars and the amps and the pedals and everything.
I have guitars now, so.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I got a little fortune myself on the walls. So, geez. All right, you know who's next? Mark, bass player. What's up with you? Your age, and what are you doing with a bass player? You're crazy. What's up?
So, when I started, it was more like when we were like 14, I think it was, and a song that's on this album, which you haven't heard yet, it's called Legends of Rock.
Legends of Rock.
On the 14th of this month. And it was because of that song. That song, my brother wrote that when we were 14 years old. It was the first song he ever wrote.
Wow.
And since then, I knew that I always wanted to be in a band with him. So I also was a Kiss fan as well. That's what got us into music and stuff like that. But as far as being in a band, I always wanted to be in a band with my brother. And that's the only bands I've ever been in are bands with my brother. So I've never played pretty much with anybody else but them.
Right. But what drew you to the bass guitar?
I knew that I was not going to be a guitar player.
Because, you knew
competition as it is, with everything. So I didn't want to compete with him on that. He's a far superior guitar player. I can play guitar, just not like he does.
Right.
And I'm 10 guitars, so
That's funny.
The bass. So I figured, okay, good thing would be the bass playing. So I played, and these guys back in '90, before we recorded our first album, they handed me a bass, put it in my hand, said, "Okay, play this," and they relentlessly for 7 days a week, or 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, until we had it down. And man, I'll tell you what, looking back, we've recorded every concert on video that we've ever done. And looking back at that and hearing it, just going, yeah, that's a good thing I did that. So they pushed me. Yeah, they're good at that.
I give props to the bass players and the drummers. You're all on a different planet.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's why I separate you guys when I'm doing shows. You guys are trouble. So, but out in California, how are the fans recepting the music? How are they liking it? What's going on?
Actually, we had done a gig summer before last, and we played only the new stuff, none of the old stuff, and they actually reacted quite well. I was kind of shocked because I figured even our old fans would be like, wait, I've never heard this. And there was a whole room full of people there that weren't there to see us, that were there to see Red Voodoo, and they came up and they were dancing, they were singing along. It was actually quite a good response.
Matter of fact, we got an encore, didn't we? And they just said one more, and it was like we didn't have time.
They wanted you to do an encore, and you're not. That's great.
So, if you're listening to this, we will open up for you again anytime.
Well, the people out there, they're not going to hear much of your music, but they're going to go to Spotify and all the platforms and listen to you. Your music is very unique, and I am very proud to hear that coming back around that style. It's not everyday style. It's definitely not, the pop of nowadays. It's not the new rock and roll. You just threw in the classics, and you threw in the 80s with it, and you made it yours, and I love it. It's So now, how many more songs we got under our belts? You're doing one a month for 12 months or so. Well, how long are we going on with this?
For the whole year. We got 12. Do one every month. We got 23.
Okay, and then they can get can they get that as a hard copy, digital copy? How can they get all this?
Currently, it's just digital copies through like Apple or Amazon or iTunes. Yep.
iTunes. Okay, great, and that's awesome. Now, do you notice? Do you see any of your analytics of where your music's going as far as who's listening to you around the world?
I do. On Spotify, we have a lot of people in Finland listening, but pretty much it's everywhere. Spain, Belgium, all over the world, actually. It's kind of cool.
Australia, Israel.
And that's another thing, too. Back in the analog days, you couldn't get around the world.
No. I was fortunate in 86. One of my buddies was a PC pro. I don't know how he did it, but he got us on the European radio station. I don't know how and why, but he did. But they're the only ones that would play us. So, yeah, but we've come a long way.
Let's see.
But that's great. It's like, doing this show here. We've picked up New Zealand, Australia, all of America. A lot of other countries tough. And we've got a lot of listeners and followers. No Cover TV's been around since 97. We've brought hundreds of bands in, and we dealt with every genre out there.
Concept, the all original music, because, a lot of people are doing covers because that's where they can make money, and we're about putting out something new.
There's definitely something gratifying when you leave a show and you have just played for a crowd that you have no idea who they are, and they're singing your song.
That it sticks with you, and it sticks with your heart and your soul, and you don't forget about that. You don't. And I tell people, the audience, approach the band. I mean, I talk to a lot of heavy metal, death metal bands and stuff like that. Some of the powerhouse female singers that just really out there that scare the hell out of you. And, I don't want to approach them, but, they are approachable. They are very sweet, very nice, and they want to talk to you. You want to talk to your fans.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Even though you just busted your ass for 2 to 3 hours doing 3-4 sets, you're sweaty, you're stinky, you're still going to go out there and you're going to do the right thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Every time.
And then you're going to go home and you're going to be up all night trying to unwind. Thinking about everything you did wrong or could have done better, right? Oh, I hated those nights. So
the good thing is we're having fun doing it too, which is always a nice thing too. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah, if you're not having fun doing it, then why do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously been in your hearts for many, many years, and it's going to stay there. It's not going anywhere. As in myself, I don't play anymore per se in a band. I still pick up the guitar and play my music, but I still stay in the music business as far as promoting and booking and talent scouting and things like that, and doing the podcast and TV. So, once it's in your heart, it's in your heart, and you do what you can do.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. So now, Do you got any dates that you're coming up playing out anywhere?
We actually have an August date coming up. We don't have it completely solidified as of the venue. I believe it's going to be August 11th up in Sacramento. Because we've got some friends in a band called Fractured, and Silver Cell is the other one. And they've been touring together, and they're coming across the country, and they're going to come up here to Sacramento, and we're going to be playing with them, I believe.
Oh, that'll be nice. Sacramento, that'll be a nice show.
And their singer, we went to junior high school with. Fractures.
Oh, really? Small world.
Yeah, so yeah.
It is. One of my singers, songwriters, he's in a band out of L.A. called The Claws, more of a 80s glam band type thing. If you're ever in the L.A. area, look up Chad Cherry of The Claws, and you can do some gigs with those guys.
Yeah, cool.
Like the Struts?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God. These guys are great. They used to tour with Poison and the Faster Pussycat and all those guys and stuff. So the old 80s, yeah. So we put the spandex pants away. Shoot. Oh, my goodness. So now let's talk a little bit more here now. You're playing out and stuff like that. California's treating you good. How now? It's different in every state I go to book or play. The pay, the people, the owners, the venues, they're all different. The contracts, the riders, and even if they don't have them, how is California treating you out there? Are you getting paid through the door? Are they paying you a flat fee through tickets? What's going on?
It's primarily ticket sales. Yeah. I mean, it's...
Because the clubs want to see what you can bring in, and what you can bring in helps them. Therefore, they help you with what you can bring in type thing. So. Yeah.
Okay. Now, are any of the venues doing their job as far as promoting you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. I hope so, because with all these platforms, why the hell not?
Well, they want to be successful as well for the bid as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I try to teach these venues back in the day. You have to take care of everybody in the right way. Definitely, you bring good music in, you bring the good crowd in, you're going to sell the liquor, and everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah, that's really the key for them is selling the liquor. So you need to have the crowd.
That's right. Now each of you mentioned Kiss. Well, that was my first album in 1974.
Nice.
Live. And I air guitared for I don't know how many years with my Circle K until I figured out how to play the thing. So I want to ask you, all of you, James, what was your inspiration?
So my family, like I said, my dad's a country western drummer.
Right.
Old Detroit thing. So I was pretty eclectic on the music I heard. But my first real foray into rock and roll was The Who.
The Who. Pete Townsend.
Yeah. From there, of course, I went heavy metal, Iron Maiden, Dio.
You went right down that road, right down there, huh? You went right down that road to Dio and Black Sabbath and Priest. Right. Those were the days. Remember when tickets were $5-6?
Yes, they were so affordable.
I was too young.
You were too young. All right, Scott, how about you? What's so inspirational? Was it Kiss or somebody else?
Yeah, that movie. I had an interest in playing guitar obviously before I saw the movie. There was just something about the guitar, the way it sounded. It just fit like a glove, and I could make it sound the way I want. When you play guitar, nobody can tell you how to play it. It's you have a bad day at work, you're sad, you're happy, you're mad, whatever. You play guitar, it's you. You are putting yourself through it. You're playing what you want. There's no direction. You just make it sound the way you want. That's what I've always liked about it. And obviously, I heard Eddie Van Halen and just went.
Oh yeah, he went crazy on that. And I look at
Martini. He was a big influence. I would say the Matthias Jabs from Scorpions was one of my heroes.
Oh yeah.
I got a little bunch of them, and I just try to take a little bit of piece of every one of them, and just try to make it into my own style. And I think I kind of have my own style. There's some signature series if you hear in the soloing and the writing of the rhythms and stuff. You'll see there's a signature about my style. Probably point
right. Well, that's good, and it fits right in perfect. Perfect. It does. Now, do you write your music when James is bringing the vocals? Are you throwing an acoustic at that, or are you going straight to the electric?
So it depends on what song. We're finishing up a song in the studio right now that was arranged around a tragic incident that happened in my family.
Oh,
and
sad.
A celebration of life. It's a song for her. And Jim and I really put this together really good. I opened up my guitar case, pulled out a new Epiphone guitar that I bought. It's a humming mockingbird. And the first note I played off it is the very beginning note. So it'll be released later. But just writing those kinds of songs, it just depends. I picked up my guitar and we played a riff, and James will build off it. Mark will come in after. Mark has brought a couple influences in on writing. Matter of fact, you've heard it called "Going Down." He actually inspired that whole song with that opening bass riff.
Wow! Well,
just started ripping on this bass. That's the bass riff you hear in the very beginning, and I just felt it. And then we came up with the structure, the arrangement. James wrote some lyrics to it. It was kick-ass, and I'm sure you probably figure out what it's about. And
very nice, Mark.
We just go in that direction. That's the beauty of it. There's no set direction.
And like you were saying with Oklahoma, we actually tried it electric as well, and it just sounds so much prettier and better in the acoustic way that it originally started.
I do a lot of my songs with the 12-string or the 6-string acoustic because I can amplify that and make it flange or do what I need to chorus or whatever.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure. And you have the time to kind of fit and make how the song's going to be. How do you want it to sound? Just like the beginning, the Oklahoma song is going to be a 12-string. So it sounds prettier that way. We tried every different way. We tried about 3 or 4 different ways. See how it sounds, what sounds the best, what the arrangements are. We tried different ways of arranging it. We finally just go, yep, that's it. That's the song. So
that's it. So have you guys had any troubles with your instruments as far as them being, like guitars, being the ones that fit for you and your music? Or did you have to sell those to get one that fits for your music?
Well, I'm a big Paul Reed Smith. I like the Paul Reed Smith. So
I'm right there with you, brother.
They're pretty expensive. I've got 2 of them, and then I've got a Eddie Van Halen Wolfgang that's pretty pricey.
Ah, yes.
Which is funny because before we went into the studio, his thought process was to use a different guitar. After he got that Eddie, he was like, "Oh my God, this is it!" And so it's in a lot of the songs.
Yeah.
You're not putting that guitar down, are you?
Standard Les Paul, which was about $2,500. I've got a Stratocaster. I've got all those. I got a really nice Washburn. That's a Paul Stanley signature. It's probably worth $10,000.
Oh, I love that Washburn. Oh, I love that.
It just depends on what the sound is. What sound do you get out of this guitar? What sound do you get out of that? Like I said, we're in the studio. Right. I tried guitars and changed instead. The engineer goes, "Nope, it's that one," and that's the one that broadcasted. That's the one that recorded best.
The sound, the quality, yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember buying a $1,200 Rickenbacker, and I turned it in the following day because it just was too tinny. I couldn't get the bass I needed out of it. So, it was what it was. So I stuck with the Kramer Striker, Magnum Pro, and, of course, the PRS.
Love the PRS.
Yeah, great guitar.
Yeah.
And I love, like you said back earlier, the guitar I look at as a tool. You can bend it, you can stretch it, you can make it sound so awesome.
You can.
Yeah. The one I'm currently using is a Dusty Warren signature series. It was like $3,200. It's a beautiful guitar. I was shocked when we went to Aftershock and I actually saw Shinedown guitarists using the same exact guitar. I went, wow, okay, it is a good guitar.
Oh, yeah. Now, are you jumping up to a 7-string at all? No. Okay. Stick with a 6. Okay. So, Mark, you sticking with a 4-string or are you going up to a 5?
No, just 4.
Just 4. You're going to stick with that 4. I don't blame you.
Yeah, I prefer
the Schecter. I like the Schecter series. The Stiletto.
Okay, nice. Now, are you a picker, slapper, or a strummer?
I am a picker. I do not. I play no pick. Excuse me. I don't play with the pick at all.
But he's not a slapper either.
But I'm not a slapper either.
You're not slapping it either, are you? So, your calluses are growing, I'm sure. That's great. So, where do we see R.S.B. in the future after you do these 12 months of CD songs? Where are we going? Do you feel like getting out of California and maybe do a little touring?
Yeah, we want to do a European tour.
You want to get out to Europe?
Yeah, they seem to like our stuff a lot.
They do like your stuff, definitely. And the fans here listening, they are going to go and check your music out because I will force them. And I will do an update show with your music on it because I'm going to have, if I try to tap into your music now, I'll probably lose you on the phone. And I don't want to do that, okay? So I will put another show together after this with your music. And so, yeah, it's about you. It's about your music. And we're going to promote it in every way we can and all over. I shove it in every orifice I can find in anybody. And that's just the way it is. So, I want to ask, how many shows have you played under your belt as R.S.B.?
Oh, as R.S.B., as this particular, just the one where we tested out the new stuff.
Okay.
Pretty much promote us to get into
and then we decided we're going to go into the studio and put the stuff down and then get it out there and see where we can go from there. We have associates that book bands around here so we can get into clubs.
Good. Very good. Good deal. Now, you said years ago you used to play together in other groups.
Correct.
Now, I want to ask you a question on that. Out of all that time when you were playing together, is there a show that stands out that you played with someone maybe special, or it was just a show that kicked ass? Can you remember?
Yeah, so back in the day, we played all over the place. We played down in LA, in Oakland. We played all over the Sacramento area, and we had a lot of really good gigs. The one that we didn't play, but I think was probably going to be our best show, is we had like 700 people or so pay to get into a backyard, this huge backyard by the Pepsi plant. And before us wound up smacking somebody with their bass and splitting them open. And he called the cops and they just got for it. But that was actually going to be one of the most amazing shows.
You kind of see it all, don't you? I won't even go into my stories. Oh, shit. I want to forget all my stories.
We played this. Jim and I just joined a band called Steel Dawn in '93, and we played. Our first show that we played was a place called Blue Moon. It was up here in Sacramento, and they probably had one of the most amazing stages. They had an underneath area where you could come up, pop up behind the drummer. And so these guys really weren't never played with us before. And as soon as I hit the first riff, I came flying over the drum riser, over the guitars, and he went, okay, this is going to be a show.
Yeah, that makes for a show. You are a performer. I've watched many drummers fall on the drums and guitar players fall off the stage, and it's like, get up and keep going.
That's my memorable ones. And we've done Battle of the Bands down Stockton with a bunch of famous people now.
Good.
We've been around for a while, so.
Well, that's good. And now, I know back in the day out east here, back then bands were a little standoffish with each other. How is it out there nowadays? Here, we're more together. We're helping each other. We're playing together and stuff, and we're promoting each other. Is it the same way out there?
Yeah, I think everybody realizes that in the business these days, we all have to help each other out because everybody can reach somebody, and not everybody's going to like everything everybody else does. So if we support each other, we can bring all new people to shows and create.
Yes, I agree. I may not like all the music out there, but I respect it. It's music, and if you have a problem, I'm always there for you. Yeah, it doesn't matter how I feel about you. So that's how it is. We don't need BS in our life. We all have enough of it as it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, for the future, I would definitely like to see us get out and play some more, finalize this album, put it in a package, be able to sell the whole album, and then, do some California shows, move a little bit towards the Mideast where you are, maybe towards the East Coast more, and eventually something across the pond. We know there's a lot of people over there that really like our music, and it'd be nice. I'll support that act over there.
Well, I'm going to keep an eye on you. If you head this way, you get a hold of me. I'll make some calls. We'll hook you up somewhere to play and go from there. And we'll see who I can talk to and see where we can go. Now, I also wanted to talk. Have you been on any radio or anything, press releases, anything?
You're actually the first with this band.
I am the first.
You are.
Yeah. Big Al is the first to talk to the Robinson Simpson band. Damn, I kick ass. You hear that, Zoe? Yeah, don't bite them. That's great, guys. I love it. I appreciate you talking with me today. We're not quite over yet. We got a little bit to talk about still. But, you guys are a little bit older and stuff, and as myself. And I cut all my long hair off a long time ago. Oh, jeez, I miss it. But what I like to ask seasoned veteran musicians and players, what advice do you got for these kids coming up, picking up the instruments, trying to make some music, and thinking they can be rock stars and it can be easy to do? Any advice for them?
Nowadays they can. If you're dedicated and you like what you're playing and you're passionate about it, don't let anybody tell you how not to play it. It's yours. That's what I was trying to explain to you earlier. It's like you have to like it. If you don't like it, then nobody else is going to like it. That's the first and foremost. And don't be afraid to put out the effort and reach beyond what you think. It's there. It's there nowadays. So
yeah. And to when you go on stage and play in front of people, be a band.
Yeah.
Don't just go out there like you're walking down the street, on your skateboard doing your thing. Go out there and look like you're a rock band or whatever your genre is. I saw I think it was like one of the Rolling Stones guys that said, look, people don't want to just go see you play, four dudes play on the stage. They don't want to go see a band. So act like a band.
They want to see a show. They want to see it and hear the music, but they also want to see a show.
You need to move around. You need to be a performer. You need to engage the audience 100%. 100%. And even if you have to do something stupid or F up, it gets their attention.
Yep. Yeah, just write a song called Crazy Effing Crazy.
That's great. I had a band in the other day that had a song called Countryfied, and it was spelled, and I'm going, geez, how am I going to get this one over the air? So I played that. It was great. And that was about, I'm not even going into that story. So, but.
Hey, so a funny story about that song you was just talking about, Crazy Effing Crazy. Before that gig that we played, I had a dream that we ended the show with that. We normally wouldn't because it was a brand new song, but we did. And the reason my dream was there is because they were singing along. So we did it, and they were. The whole crowd was singing along with us. Crazy Effing Crazy. So
that just, I'm sure the smile on your face was, you couldn't wipe it off.
Oh, it still can't.
It's going to be there for a while. And then you hear it in your head, too, and you see it. And it's hard to get it out, too, sometimes. And then when you get out the autographs, giving autographs and stuff, and that's what's cool. That's what's cool. Appreciate your fans and your listeners, because they're the ones that are supporting you. And people out there pay the cover charge, buy the merchandise, because it does cost money for these performers to perform for you and put a smile on your face. So when you leave work or you get up in the morning, you get in your car, what do? You turn the radio on because you want to hear some music to calm down, chill out before you got to go and do some stupid shit. So, and that's the way it is. So, when I'm up at 2, 3 in the morning, the headphones go on and the music is jamming, or I'm jamming. Somebody's jamming. So, but it's about the music, the original music. Check R.S.B. out, the Robinson Simpson Band. You guys are going to be around for a long time. I know that. And I'm going to follow you, and I'm going to bug the hell out of you.
Thank you, and thank you for having us on.
Oh, not a problem. You head to Europe, you'll let me know. I might just follow you because one of my other bands goes to Germany every other year to do their shows. So, yeah. And so you just never know what doors might open up for you.
We're hoping they all open up.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing. You just never know. You don't. Now, what other question? I've got a few written down here, and I usually don't even write questions down, but I'm getting old, so I kind of forgetting crap here. But anyways, ups and downs. Any ups and downs in the business?
Not really. The beauty of us being, as you stated, a little bit older and been in this for a while, we're financially secure with each other.
Good.
And that obviously can be a big up and down in a band.
Yes.
Hey, how to afford to pay for an album that we're doing right now, which we're into it,
Good.
And but we're at a place in our life that we can afford to contribute to that.
Yeah, our daytime jobs help pay for what we can do now.
That's great, guys. That's great. Now, are you all splitting the PR work equally?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. Somebody, everybody's got their own list and they're doing it and checking it off right?
That's primarily what the ups and downs are usually in a band, and usually there's writing differences in a band.
Yeah.
We don't really have a problem with this one because we pretty much all inputs are opinions, and we all have them. My brother has all the opinions. And,
you're a family, and you're going to have opinions.
Yeah. So, I think that
they're opening up for the R.S.B. too, by the
Ah,
way.
nice. That's great, man. And I was looking at your page, and I liked a lot of the bands that you're following and stuff. Pretty cool. Yeah. So you guys are rocking out. The song "Fight," love it.
Yep.
I like that a lot. That was pretty powerful there.
Thank you.
That was very powerful. And then what's the other one? "You're Gone."
Yeah, You're Gone.
Is that nice? Very nice. And we're going to play that after I get off with you. And what's this one over here? It says "Legends of Rock."
That's the one that's coming out on the 14th.
That's coming out on the 14th. Legends of Rock. I'll have to put the 14th right there.
So that song came about, like Mark was saying earlier, when I was 14 years old. It's actually the first song I ever wrote.
Okay.
So they're kind of dated. It's going to sound like a 80s, song or something like that.
Okay.
But it's called Legends of Rock because I wanted to write a song that basically recognized all the legends of rock.
Sweet.
That's what it is. When you hear the lyrics, you're going to go, "My God, okay, wow, right on."
And that's what I kind of heard with the other songs is like, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that. Oh, that, I'm hearing that too. That's cool.
Yeah, so you're going to hear some familiar names. Obviously, that inspired us, and the way that James came up with the lyrics and how he presented them and how he put them into the arrangement. I think he did a very good job on. I added a couple 2 cents. The only thing I really was persistent about was the name, Legends of Rock. That's what I originally called it, and the original riff. We changed up a couple arrangements in the music part of it, but that's basically what the song's about. We wanted to come up with something that shared our visions and our views of other bands that have inspired us over the years. And that's what it's about.
That's awesome. That is really awesome how you put that together.
The first verse basically does some of the earlier bands like Zeppelin and stuff, and then we go through like the 90s bands, and the last verse is actually all of our bands: Cold Steel, Steel Dawn, Damn It, Jim. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Ended up the right way. Oh my gosh, guys. So you're doing a lot. Your music's out there all over the place. Again, check out R.S.B. on all the platforms and YouTube. Check the new music out every month for the next 12 months, right?
Yes, sir. 9 more, right?
Also, check out the videos. We got videos that are following each song too.
Okay, the videos, and they'll be on YouTube or somewhere else?
Yep.
On YouTube. Okay, so follow on YouTube and look them up. R.S.B., the Robinson Simpson Band. You can check them out, and awesome. Awesome. You're going to love this stuff. These guys are going to go a long way. I can see you being in Europe. I can see you being around the States, and, you're doing the right thing. You got your heads in the right place, and it looks like the way you're PRing and doing things, everything's going just right.
Well, thanks, Big Al. Thanks for having us on.
Hey,
Thank you for having.
not a problem, and I'd like to have you on the show again, maybe in 6 months or so, and see where you're at.
Absolutely.
So you tell everybody out in California, Big Al says, hey, and if you know any bands that want to jump on the show, just give them a shout to me, and I'll talk to them, man. It's about the music. So I'm going to go ahead, and we're going to sign out, and I'm going to go ahead and do a show on some of your songs here. And everybody out in podcast land, thank you for stopping to the No Cover TV podcast. This is Big Al, your host. You can get a hold of me through these podcast links. There's little links below. You can push a button and ask me a question. Hey, you can actually push a button, donate a couple bucks. It goes towards production, so I can take ads out in magazines in other countries to promote your music. That's what it's about. Never about me. It's about you, okay? I did my stint. Now it's for your turn. So, on that note, the Robinson Simpson Band, thank you for gracing the No Cover TV table podcast. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Al.
Have a great day.
You have a great afternoon, my friends, and take care. I will talk to you soon. Peace out.